Wilton makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
I need a longer video. Still can't get all the tweets done in time. Hello and welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Whoo! I was having kittens during most of that. And for all the haters out there that have been questioning Martin Odegaard and are still questioning Bukayo Saka, don't question them. Don't question Mikel. Don't question any of the players. We've seen today that they can't all have magnificent games at the same time. But Odegaard, oh my God, Odegaard, that bloke was fantastic. With me to do a happy jig, high fives, and all the other associated stuff. It is Deacon. How you doing, Treacle?
I'm all right. I was just saying to you before we went live. I didn't sprint, but I power walked to the point where my shin splints from previous football injuries kicked in, and holy Jesus, I was unfortunately sitting in the middle of Derbyshire, which is where I live now, with two Tottenham fans, and they were literally egging on my demise until the dying moments when Gabriel got that goal, and I lost my shit, and then the VAR. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. So many. I mean, would it be wrong to say that was never really in doubt because of the way we play and the chances we were creating? And
it should have been not in doubt. That's the thing. But errors happen. It's the Premier League. It's a very long and arduous journey, and errors do come into play. And we played ourselves out of a huge error. Because old school Arsenal would have just gone.
Yeah.
But we persevered and we ended up getting the result that we knew deep down we deserved. But as I said, if this was last season, we would have very much just, gone home with our tail between our legs.
Excellent. Right, let's say a few quick hellos to the people in the chat. Sorry, a little bit late, but like Deke says, he couldn't leave the pub while it was 1-1 because he'd have come back here and he'd missed the goal, and then it would have been an absolute nightmare.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Phil Macker, hello, and lots of numbers. Sai, Harvey, Carlito, Supercala, Stefan. Who else is in there? Corey is there. Is that our Corey in Canada? I think it could well be. I haven't heard from you for a while, Gav. I hope you're all right. And who else is in there? Brady's Banana and Loki. And Andy, that's a new name. Can we just give Fulham 35 million for Mitrovic? Absolutely not. Don't want him at the club. It's just a fat lump who's shoving around. But 4 goals in 4 games, that's not a bad turnout, is it? And Tullaby Fool is there. Can you say hi to my daughter? Since she was born, she's watched every game on my lap and won them all. Hello.
Keep it going.
Tullaby Fool's daughter.
Is what we say.
It's a good time to be a gooner. Make the most of it. Right, let's start with what you thought when you heard the lineup. No Zinchenko.
Yeah,
and
I was
no Partey. Were you worried?
As they say, no Zinchenko, no Partey. Because we didn't have a Partey up until the dying moments of the game. But and I was completely shell shocked. To be honest with you, I heard rumors about the Partey thing. The fact that he wasn't at the hotel, apparently. So I heard about that probably an hour before the lineup, which I was like, okay, I'm a little bit anxious about that. But I think overall we missed the Zinchenko than we did the Partey, which is quite funny actually, because if this was, we teleport ourselves back to last season. Nice. I like it. I love the fact that Zinchenko was involved in all of the celebrations for the Gabriel goal. That was beautiful.
For people who are not listening live, it's just put a picture up because Steve mentioned Zinchenko. The celebration with he's just standing there, ran up to him, and he's going mental. He's
he's got a strap on his left knee. Didn't care. Was involved, and I loved it. Absolutely fell in love with him. But we, as Arsenal fans, I think we all fell in love with him, considering we made him a song pretty early doors. But I really feel we lost the influence of Zinchenko with the inverted wing back, the ability to be able to come through the middle and hold that centre midfield option to allow Xhaka to do what he does, which he's done so prevalently this season. But as I said, at the start, an hour before the teams were announced, there was Partey not being there. And I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, okay, everyone's saying, Elneny would just be a shoehorn fit. And I was like, okay, maybe we can get through this without Partey. But then losing Zinchenko as well, and then bringing in Tierney. And as much as I love Tierney, he's not got that ability to play in the inverted wingback to come through the middle. He's very much the guy that plays out on the very peripherals of the pitch and plays that late ball in from the byline. And we saw that today, but it just didn't really work out. I think as an Arsenal team, we've very much evolved from that ability to play that last ditch cross into the box. I think we're very much a more technical team and having that ability there. But as overall, the team hasn't changed much from the opening day of the season, but the Partey and the Zinchenko. But I feel like everyone got hyped on the Zinchenko thing, but I think, the Partey thing, but I think Zinchenko was very much the one that we missed the most.
Wise words indeed. Paul not Neil says, I was at the 9-0 spanking of Bournemouth today. He said it is insane. It is Corey, cheeky monkey. Hello, Corey. I have to get you on again soon if you're around. Keysby Night, countdown to our first red card. Who's it going to be? Looked quite close today because we got full of the passion, full of the...
I've got no qualms with the passion. Got no qualms with the passion.
Nor have I. Brilliant.
No qualms with it. Get involved. Get involved, I say. I was waiting for Mitrovic to get a red card after, that little bit of a challenge, and he had a bit of a ruckus with the Arsenal fans before the said goal, which we'll talk about. But I thought he was going to get himself a cheeky little red, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
It was looking a little bit tasty at times. Claudius on Twitch says that game felt more chaotic than it needed to be, but when we won coming from behind with a couple of players out, that's a good sign. I mean, Fulham have proved themselves they're no mugs this season. They've got some decent results already, so they will be disappointed that they didn't get a draw out of that. They had plenty of chances to score goals, especially. I've got some notes for the games, but at some points of the game they were looking really, really decent. Let's start off with 4th minute. Elneny playing the exact Partey role. Well, he was standing where Partey was standing, but he wasn't doing much of the Partey role, was it? Because it's mainly passing backwards, bit of a water carry, bringing the ball from defence, but then passing it out. I don't think he's done himself any favours today, but he hasn't done himself a disjustice and an injustice. And we knew that's the kind of player, the kind of role that he would play. He doesn't have it in him to do any of the Partey stuff, and this is one of the positions that we need filling, isn't it, from before the transfer window closes? We can't rely on Elneny when Partey's not there.
Yeah, I agree. I think today the best thing to do with a situation like this is to look at the silver lining of a situation, right? We talk all the time about situations where we look absolutely incredible, which we've done so far this season, but there's still very many days before the window closes. So I'm hoping the idea of being able to push for a midfielder that can come in and do the business in the middle of the park when Partey becomes invisible very much becomes prevalent. But we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, we managed to keep hold of Elneny on a very minimal contract with an optional of a year extension. And to have a player of his ability, I know that he isn't a Partey player. He's not Thomas Partey, but he's a player that can do the job at a very minimal level. But he didn't, as you said, Danny, very rightly, he didn't put any foot wrong, but he didn't do anything extraordinary at the same time, which is very much what we're used to having when it comes to Mohamed Elneny. And you can't expect him to just become someone else. So yeah, who knows? Hopefully today will be a silver lining on the cloud and we end up pushing out for a midfielder that we desperately need.
How do you say that name? Nitsu Newbie says it's an Odegaard Wonderland today. This it definitely is. He was absolutely magnificent. Right, 11th minute, I've put Saka looking very confident, running through the middle at goal. We're in the Odegaard position. He only did that a couple of times today, but
yeah,
he looked good, didn't he?
He did look good. Saka looked really, really good today. But he's looked good for the last few games. This is 14 games now that he's not managed to hit the back of the net. Thanks to Albinio, the opted god, who likes to jinx us, but we ended up quelling that today, which is great. But yeah, 14 games today. Saka's not hit the back of the net. Obviously, something needs to change. I don't know if it might be the time to maybe integrate Emile Smith-Rowe back into the side and allowing Saka maybe a breath. Who knows? That might be what happens for Aston Villa next weekend. Sorry, we're playing them Wednesday, right? Wednesday. We're playing Aston Villa Wednesday. So who knows? There might be a change in that regard. But on speaking of guard, Odegaard was when we had him on loan and there was rumors about we could sign him on a permanent, and the fact that we signed him on a permanent on such an incredible deal, because I thought Ancelotti would literally I thought Ancelotti would be like, nah, we're keeping him. He's very much going to be very, involved in the Real Madrid side. But the fact that we got him and we got him for cheap, I've been an Odegaard fan since the day we signed him on loan. So it doesn't shock me that he is now the fully fledged Arsenal captain, leading the line. There was moments in the game, at that there was a moment we'll talk about where he charged back and stopped a very much. There was a moment where Andrea could have been one-on-one with Ramsdale, and Odegaard chased it all the way back to the our own penalty box, and he did that up until the 92nd minute. I'm in love with Martin Odegaard. In love with him.
Ooh, illumination.
Ooh, light. Lovely. We have light.
The wonders. Right, so 14th minute, wonderful crossfield ball from Odegaard to Jesus, who half volleys it off to Xhaka, who had a shot and puts it wide. I mean, that ball from one side of the pitch to the feet of Jesus from Odegaard, that is the stuff of highlight reels that players do a few times a season. He's doing it all the time. That's just, I saw that, I stopped breathing. Stunning.
He does this, though. This is what he does. This is what his ability is. And as I said, I was blown away with the fact that we managed to poach him from Real Madrid, the club that's got the most European championships on the planet. Which we'll say that is pretty much the best club in the world, one of the best clubs in the world, and we managed to poach him for pickings of 35 million pounds. I'm in awe of the guy, and as I said, I'm not shocked that he's the captain of the club.
It's like formerly Noza puts there from YouTube. There were so many other fans wanted James Maddison instead. I didn't. Moody twat. I'm glad we got Odegaard. Start of the window, Real Madrid was saying 70 million, 60 million, and Edu waited and waited and waited until they got desperate.
It's because he's not waiting. He's barbecuing. He's doing some fucking wagyu on the Barbie. That's what he's doing.
He's not mucking around.
Hell yeah.
I can't go say ninjutsu. It's not. It's nitsu. Last year we got weaker going to the bench. This year we have not. If anything, we got better. Very good point. We got 100% so many options off the bench.
Yeah, our bench options are. There's a day you can see daylight in between. You really, really can. The fact that we can bring on players like Tomiyasu. Who else did we bring on? The Holding. This is the first time we saw the Holding situation today.
5 centre backs on at the same time. No one's getting past
which was funny in itself. But we still didn't bring on Emile Smith-Rowe. We brought on Tomiyasu, which was great. We brought on Nketiah.
I think Odegaard.
He was a live wire.
Yeah, it'd been nice to have seen Smith-Rowe come on from Odegaard and get.
I agree. To be fair, I would have maybe even seen it over Saka. Because I feel like that might be the way. If Emile Smith-Rowe can maybe wiggle his way in, I think that's maybe over Bukayo Saka, because, as I said, he's not hit the back of the net now for 14 games, thanks to Albinio on Twitter. He's got some great statistics. He lives and breathes it. If you love a stat, he's your guy. And that's what he said at halftime. So it's definitely going to get interesting when it comes to the Villa game on Wednesday. That's for sure.
Yeah, very, very happy indeed. Now for the only criticism I have of maybe Eddie gets a little bit towards the end of the game, a bit wasteful, but he's still young and learning. 23rd minute, Ramsdale does his usual, taking a quick goal kick and hits one of their players. He nearly killed Mitrovic. I was laughing my ass off at that as Mitrovic is laying, not for the first time in the game, laying on the floor, rolling around, squealing like a baby. But are you worried about Ramsdale? And he's so quick with those quick free kick goal kicks that regularly once a game one of their players is going to get hit by the ball. He's just so eager, but it just makes you love him even more, doesn't it?
Well, we were all there when we signed Ramsdale. Was it Sheffield United that we signed him from? I'm pretty sure, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we all signed him. We were like, why are we spending this much money on a backup goalkeeper when we've got Bernd Leno? We're like, what's going on here? It didn't take very long for him to get into our hearts, and very much that's where he will stay. I can feel it. That's for sure. Like we all saw it today. Bernd Leno had a great game. It was very interesting to see kind of the parallels between the two players. Bernd Leno had a brilliant game, but we all loved him for his shot stopping ability. It was his footwork that kind of let him down. Ramsdale has got that ability to be able to ping the balls out to the wings and really offer a really, really potent attack from literally nothing. So as much as Ramsdale might give us the heebie-jeebies every now and again, I want him to keep doing what he's doing. 100%. 100%.
Agree. Looking at, what does a T mean? Last man tackle. Looking at whoscored.com. Looking at who scored, like I said, whoscored.com. Leno got a rating of 8.3. Odegaard, 8.6. The rest of our team, apart from Martinelli, got a 7.5. Saka got a 7.2. And Mitrovic got a 7.5. The rest of the team, Ream got a 7.8, a bit high for that. But today was a tale of one goalkeeper and one Norwegian captain, and between them he stopped us scoring, and Odegaard kept us going. I think we've got a quote here from Rudy. He says, Arteta on Odegaard's leadership. Influence, keep calm and take the ball in difficult moments, and he did that so often. And his vision, it's not just about his ability to pass. I've made a note. There's my next note coming up. No, 38th minute. Elneny gave away a foul. Gabriel stood there holding the ball 2/3 of the way up the pitch in their half and was arguing. Odegaard took the ball off of Gabriel and shouted at him and pointed to get back to his own position. Good captaining there. Make sure they don't take it quickly and leave us without a centre back in place. That sums up why he's captain. Xhaka would have done the same thing, but you can see Odegaard's an intelligent bloke and he's reading ahead thinking, if you standing there with the ball, the ref takes the ball off for you, they'll take a quick free kick or whatever they're going to do and lob it downfield, and then it's only got Saliba and Benny Blanco there. So great leadership from there, wasn't it?
You got to remember, Odegaard's only 23 years old, right? But he's been playing at the highest level since he was 16 years old when he got poached by Real Madrid and given that £80,000 per week contract, which is kind of life-changing. I don't even know sort of how to comprehend that sort of wages. But he's 23 and he's a captain of Arsenal Football Club, right? But situations like this really show why we've given him that armband. I know there's a lot of fans out there right now that like to say that, the armband's old-fashioned and it's boring. There should be a leadership team or whatever you want to say. But for me, I'm old-fashioned and I think the armband means something and it really shows something. And you really need to, when you're on the pitch and you're wearing the armband, you need to give yourself 150%, not even 100. I'm talking 150%. You need to give more than anyone else on that field. In situations like this, Odegaard comes in you can see him. You've made a note on it. He really comes into situations like this and says, right, listen, this is what we need to be doing. This is what we need to be getting done. And today, Martin Odegaard really starts to shine as the Arsenal captain. That's for sure.
Definitely. Corey says, would you have Mitrovic at Arsenal? No. He's not a skillful player. He's just the
thing is, right?
Lump.
Sorry, I'm going to take a tangent here, Danny. You know me. Mitrovic, he's a good player. Right, that's fine. He is what he is. A lot of people like to say that he's not a championship player. He's not a premiership player. He's kind of in between. The thing that I've noticed about Arsenal and the signing players that they've been going on with is very much we're signing players that aren't wild boys or players that have got like an attitude or something like that. They're not bad boys. We've been signing players that are family guys. These guys live and breathe their family. They stay at home. They live and breathe, being there with their wife, their kids, not going out. They're not about going out and about town. They want to stay at home. They're stay at home kind of people, and they live and breathe family. This is very much the idea that we're signing now with players. And you can see that on the field now. Do you know what I've really enjoyed, Danny, that I don't think anybody's really talked about more than most? Is every single time before the start of a kickoff, all of the players get in a huddle and they get themselves going. We haven't done that in such a long time. I've never seen an Arsenal team with so much unity because they understand and they know what it means to be part of a family because they live and breathe it. So this is just Arsenal Football Club are an extension of said family, and they're just integrating it into their everyday. And their heart just literally pumps Arsenal. The huddles at the start of the game is what has changed it for me. And the idea of that, because not a lot of people talking about those huddles as if it's like an everyday thing, because we haven't done that for a while. I love the huddles at the start. It really shows that unity at the very beginning of a football match.
We see from the All or Nothing documentary that is one of the key features of Arteta being manager. That's what he wants. He wants unity. And you see quite often, I was really surprised. We knew Aubameyang wasn't getting involved in that. I'm like Aubameyang. I wouldn't be able to get involved in that. I don't want people.
We've all watched the documentary now. I don't know if there's any spoilers or anything like that, but the documentary made me just want to slap him in his face. His attitude was completely wrong.
But then you see Lacazette. I was really surprised to see Lacazette sitting there the whole time going. For the people at home and on the bus and taking the dog for a walk, that's me just having a blank look on my face. Lacazette so often was shown on camera like he had no idea what was going on, that he was lost, he wasn't involved. And you think, yeah, he's not really a team player. I think he'll do well back in France where he'll be the star for Lyon. He's a Lyon legend, but I was disappointed with that. And these are the players that are out of the club, the ones that don't want to join the cult of Arteta, that don't want to be a part of it, that can't do the team hugs, that when he goes around and high fives them at the end of every game, the ones that was lackluster. I mean, I understand that. I'm not a team player, but you can't be a part of Arteta's army, Arteta's cult, if you're not going to do that. One more bit before half-time, Deke, 43rd minute, Jesus and they're 33 arguing over a foul on Saka. A little bit silly because when you saw the replay of the foul, it was a very soft foul. Saka made the most of it, went down, wasn't hurt, but Jesus just went mental about it, didn't he? Had to be held back twice by Odegaard.
Sure, and that is the reason why Jesus and Xhaka are the vice captains, as Arteta has said. The guy's got a lot of weight put on his shoulders, as much as he doesn't want to be the man. He knows that he is the guy that's going to be leading the line. Situations like that, I'm in love with the man. You know what's funny, right? He's our striker, right? Old school days, you'd be like, if the striker isn't burying it into the back of the net, I'm not interested. But when it comes to Gabriel Jesus, the guy's obviously been very potent since he started his Arsenal career. But when the situations like this, I'm not bothered. I'm not fazed by it because I know that he's going to do the business against Villa or whatever. I'm very confident when it comes to Gabriel Jesus, and just want to say thank you very much, Corey, for the love. I appreciate it very, very much.
Corey is a lovely
cheers
man.
For the love. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Zaha didn't play for Palace today when they were 2-0 up against Man City, ended up losing 4-2. That's because Haaland is an absolute beast. Would you have Zaha? Is that the kind of player we need?
Do you know what?
Because Saka's future, it doesn't have to be on the right wing. He's left-footed. We saw today. He can play through the middle. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. If we get Zaha in, doesn't mean what we're saying to Saka, you're not good enough. Just means Saka, you have a sit down. We've got someone else there. And I like what you're saying about getting ESR playing there. But I know you like ESR as a 10, don't you? Maybe even a striker. But we're not going to dig that up again, are we?
No, we're not going to dig that up again because we'll go there forever. I'm also not going to talk about Tavares and how he started the season very, very well. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. But however, I am going to say I like
Sorry.
Zaha.
Oh, that slipped out.
I like Zaha. I like him. I think if we could poach him for a decent fee, I would
40,
prefer him
45.
over Neto.
Yeah,
Do you know what, right?
Go on. No, you do it. You're the guest.
I don't know about that. I was gonna say, St. Maximin is the guy that's got the most dribbles in the Premier League so far this season with like 150. But a lot of his dribbles don't really go anywhere. Whereas Zaha has been very much the main man for Crystal Palace now for a very long time. He obviously had that stint at United, but we've all seen United use players in the most the weirdest ways. They had Di Maria for a time, and they completely misused him. And I'm like, how do you get a hold of a player like Di Maria and just misuse him to that extent, and then get rid of him? So United are very known for misusing players. I like Wilfried Zaha. He's a born and bred Arsenal fan. That's always going to be good. It is true he's a crybaby, and he kind of throws himself about, which is the problem. So I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to bringing in someone like Wilfried Zaha. But then, chat, I'll put it out to you then. When it comes to signing somebody like Wilfried Zaha, who kind of gets himself about, but he's got the passion to play for the badge because he lives and breathes it, because he's an Arsenal fan and he loves it, would you want someone like that in your football club? That's the question. I kind of like him. I don't know whether he would fit in the ethos of what Arteta is bringing. And if he doesn't, then he doesn't come. I don't know how you feel about that, Danny. It's like if he doesn't fit with what Arteta wants.
I think he's on the edge of not being a team player.
I agree. I like him, but I don't know if he fits in what Arteta wants. Because I could love him. I could preach and praise about him till the cows come home, but it doesn't matter about my opinion. It doesn't matter about anybody's opinion apart from Arteta's and Edu's. That's the two opinions that you need to milk up the most. That's for sure.
Like as Loki says, Zaha brings pens. He does. Evening, Avon. Nice to see you. Mr. Waffles, another one who we should get on to a post-game show. Corey, I thought Kane had dribbled the most.
Nice.
The old ones are the best ones.
That was understated. That was very nice.
Phil says Zaha spends too much time sitting down and crying like a baby. That is part of his game. And do we want that at Arsenal? I mean, it's effective. Avon says Zaha is 29 and will drop off. I mean, players like that, you get into 29, 30, you are getting to, if it's all about
We've already had an Aubameyang. And Theo exactly.
Lost his pace.
I like him, but I don't think I want him in an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the right attitude.
No, he doesn't fit the family mentality that I've been talking about all so far.
Stan, are you joining us Wednesday for the Aston Villa post game? I've not asked anyone else yet because I know time-wise that's good for you. Stan says Zaha is on the downturn. Neto is on the upturn. I think what's Neto? 22. He's got a future. Talking of lyrics, do you remember the song by Two Live Crew about Martinez and Martinez's wife? I'd like to see fans sing that to... It's something Martinez, Martinez's wife. I'd love the crowd to sing that at Martinez. Two Live Crew people, for those who remember 80s hip hop. Great. Well, yeah, they were very
So
good.
I'm going to chuck a name out. I know that we've just had our Europa League draw and everything. We're playing PSV Eindhoven. Yeah. And we're looking for a winger/striker, right? And obviously there's rumours about maybe going in for Neto. Zaha even creeped up in the rumours. I'll tell you what, man. I'd like to steal Gakpo. I'd like to steal him. To steal him, especially the fact that we're playing. No, that's obviously
he's an assist merchant though, and he's quick.
Know, but
did you see him play against Leicester last season in the Europa League or whatever they were? He was terrible.
You can't rate a player on one game.
Playing against English competition, decent English competition.
I appreciate what you're saying.
I like him. He's young and he's.
I like him. I really like him. I really like Gakpo.
You'd probably get him for 40, maybe.
I'd prefer him over someone like Zaha. That's 100%. 100%.
Zaha's time has gone.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Who knows? We could all be wrong. But it's just interesting to come up with names. That's all.
Avon says Gakpo is very one-footed, and we've only just moved on from Pepe.
We've got Saka, who's one-footed, that hurts my brain. Xhaka, we've had a Saka and a Xhaka situation today that if they had a right peg, we would be 4-0 up. It wouldn't matter. I don't think having a 1 foot peg situation, especially when today's football, I think having ambidextrous football players is very far and few between. I think what the last player that we had that was really decent with both pegs was Santi Cazorla. It's been a minute. I think basing somebody on only having one peg is very much a one-legged situation. That's for sure.
Have we got 2 people in the chat called Corey? It's Corey Lane who's looking at him. That's not our other Corey. And then
there's a Corey with an E and a Corey without an E.
And then you got, there's 2. Never, podcasting first, 2 people called Corey. Corey Lane, if you're new, give us a subscribe if you like what you see. We'll do loads of podcasts. This month, I think we'll have done about 22 shows by the time it ends.
He wants to see Saka get a run at left wing.
He did that a few times today. I noticed that 2 or 3 times.
If we sign ourselves a target man of some ilk, then sure. But inverted wingers is very much the way forward with what Arteta wants. And today, we saw it with Tierney. He doesn't have that ability to sit deep, and White does. And we saw it today that we really miss that ability to come through the middle. That's for sure.
Rudy says, a quote, Arteta, when asked if Arsenal in the title race, quote, no, it's the start of the season. This is a long marathon. Be humble, be hungry. Oh, there's a T-shirt for you. Be humble, be hungry. God.
I like it. The man's full of quotes.
Get that done. Avon said that Saka can go either way. He can, but he's predominantly left foot, which is why he always goes down the right side, cuts in. And when I'm surprised after 3 seasons, no one's managed to figure out a way to stop Saka from cutting in. He does it every time. And Martinelli does the same thing. We're just blessed with having so many great players. Let's move on a little bit. 51st minute, second half. One of the funniest points of the game. They get the ball on the edge of just inside their own box. The player runs 4/5 of the length of the field, breathing through his arse, then decides to try and make a cross to his mat. They've got one player in the box. We got Tierney on that player. And then he goes to do the cross, misses the ball, trips over himself and falls down. You think, poor bloke. But
that's the Odegaard. That's the tracking back from Martin Odegaard, putting pressure on a player. If you skipped back to the start of the game before kickoff, would you think that Martin Odegaard would be making that run to keep the score as is by piling pressure on said player when it comes to making that run? Because I'll tell you what, if he made that pass, that's Andrea has got a 1-on-1.
Yeah,
100%.
And that was just.
But that's a captain leading by example. That's what you want.
Yeah. And he didn't do what the last captain Xhaka would have done and elbowed him in the face, given away a penalty and got sent off. I still love Xhaka though, but that's the kind of nonsense that we'd have had to put up with. Talby Falls says Santi was more than decent with both feet. To be honest, he certainly was.
Yeah, he was. There was many times when he used to step up to a free kick or a corner, and he even said himself, "I've met him. He's a. I tell you what, Santi Cazorla, he's a beautiful man, absolutely beautiful man.
He's an assassin with those feet.
Absolutely love him."
Moss says, what do you think of the Jamaica warm-up shirt? Is it officially a Jamaica one?
Yeah. It's officially a Jamaica one. Yeah, they very much show that it's from Jamaican heritage and the flag and everything, like the colour and stuff like that. I find it interesting because I don't know where that comes from.
No.
We've got no Jamaican players. I don't understand. No. They're pushing the idea of Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus wearing the shirts, and I'm like, they're not West Indie.
No.
They're South American.
Got a bit of West Indian in you.
I have got West Indian in me. Which so personally, I find it very unusual. I'm like, there's no connection between the West Indies and Arsenal. So I'm confused. If someone can enlighten me of the connection of West Indies and Arsenal, that would be great. But I don't see it. It's a nice looking shirt, I guess, but I've got no connection to it. And I don't think many Arsenal fans, unless you're an Arsenal fan from Jamaica or the West Indies.
We have a
which
couple
is
in
a
the
small,
chat.
yeah, sure, but it's going to be a small pool as compared to Europe or America or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Let me know because I'm confused.
Kim B, a new name in the chat. Hello, Kim B. Gapco's deficiencies is more about his touch and running into nowhere. Sounds like most of our wingers we've had over the years. He needs more time in the Eredivisie, but is quite old for his level. Still a talent. Good. Avon says, I want to see Saka get a run at left 8. Isn't that the kind of where would that be? A left 8. So that's
Xhaka.
Central midfield.
That's Xhaka territory.
Playing next to Odegaard, you mean?
A lot of people are saying, obviously, Fabio Vieira maybe playing in that role and seeing how he does.
Because I said in the preview show that Vieira had been playing the right side of midfield for the under-21s as it is now. Brady says Vieira or Marquinhos should have a go down the right in place of Saka in the Villa match. No, I'm not sure we can take Villa too lightly. They're still a decent team.
I think that's disrespectful, personally, as much as I appreciate your opinion. But I think if we're going to not play Saka, then Emile Smith-Rowe should be playing there or chopping and changing in some capacity. Maybe even playing Odegaard out on the right and playing Emile Smith-Rowe through to 10 because Odegaard's got that left peg to be able to cut in because he's got that ability and he's definitely been playing one of the best kind of football so far this season, that's for sure.
How did we get 50? It's like you're reading my notes, Steph, as usual, wise man. He says, how did we get to 53 minutes? My next note, 50. I've got 2 on 53 minutes. Great work by Martinelli. He lays it off to Odegaard, who has a great shot, but is parried by Leno. And then straight away after, another attack. Odegaard to Jesus, out wide to Xhaka, lays it off for Jesus, who has a shot, again, blocked by Leno. If it wasn't for Leno today, we'd have won that 6-1. Possibly, absolutely. They have got a steal at what, 4 million, 4.5 million. I hope they don't go down because then we get more money for him. But you can't have your number one goalkeeper on 60. I think Ramsdale's on 60 grand a week, and then Leno's on 100 grand a week. You can't have a backup goalkeeper on 100 grand a week. Even if they say to him, you play all the cup games, you still can't do it. That has been a major thing that Edu and Arteta and Vignai and all the others that are in charge of the club, they have got out high earners and replaced them with lower earners. The number of players that we have now got rid of that are on 100k plus, apart from Jesus, which is 265, I think, all the other players that have come in have been on a hell of a lot, even half the amount that those other players were. I think I worked out that if the player, we've got 21 players out on loan, and you take those of all the other players that have gone, I think there's 35 players have left the club one way or another. Taking their full wages at Arsenal is £605,000 a week, and the players we brought in are 360 grand a week. Now I know the players on loan, especially the likes of Mari, who's gone to Monza, they're not paying his 85 grand a week. I know Nice aren't paying 140 grand a week for Pepe, but it just shows all the players that we've shipped out, if we could get all the money back for them, that their wages, that they have done some absolute magic financially. I think they've saved £35 million a year, roughly, if they did pay all their wages, which, again, they're not. And no one knows 100% what the wages are. Anyway, I'll stop waffling, go to the goal. 55th minute, how did you see the goal, the Mitrovic goal? Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what to say about it. We were all over them for 55 minutes and a ball was played to Gabriel. He faffed on the ball. He looked to play it out from the back. I just think it's a situation again, at the end of the day, Gabriel is not a fully fledged centre-back. He's still learning. A lot of centre-backs come into their own in their late 20s. So Gabriel's got a little bit of time before he gets to that stage. And situations like this, he got caught unstuck and it comes up against a player like Mitrovic. It's not every day you get to play against a player like Mitrovic. That's for sure. He's a guy that throws his weight about. He knows how to do the business in the Championship. A lot of people like to talk about the Premiership and how it's the best league in the world, one of the best leagues in the world. But when it comes to the Championship, it's probably one of the most difficult leagues in the world when it comes to just being able to hold your own. That's for sure. And today, once again, Mitrovic got the better of one of our centre backs, and it's not unusual, which is unfortunate. But today shows he went and done it again. So Gabriel caught unstuck, and Mitrovic does what he does best.
I agree with you. Clear up a couple of things. Stan, who's said that she's Jamaican, says we have a background of players from West Indian heritage, right? Davis Rowe, Castle, name a few. Yes, I know.
Sure.
Deacon knows that.
Sure.
Natasha Nunes, who I can't, and she lives around that area, says Arsenal have said, this is what we wanted to know, they're celebrating the Caribbean heritage of North London. Good.
Sure. Of course you can say that, of course, and I totally understand what Stan's saying as well.
Yeah.
I just meant more in what's going on right now in Arsenal.
Yeah.
We could talk about our history of Scandinavian players or our history of in South American players. We could play that tune. I just meant about today and now. I think a South American twist would be quite interesting, because we've got a lot of
their Portuguese kit.
We've got a lot of Portuguese going through the club right now. There's rumours, obviously, Neto. We've got Fabio Vieira. We've got Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel himself as well. We've got all the Gabbies. There's a lot of Portuguese speaking. There's a lot of South American speaking. So maybe we could have done something like that. I'm not saying the shirt's
not
still bad.
Will lose a couple of games.
Who knows?
Another kit.
Arsenal will pump out another 43 kits before the end of the season. But I just meant in the sense of what's going on right now. I totally understand what you're saying, chat, and I appreciate everything you're saying. Speaking as a West Indian myself, with my granddad and everything. But I just meant about what's going on right now. That's all I meant.
Well, Natasha's given us the answer, what the club have said. I don't like the kit, but there again, I didn't like last season's London Underground kit. They used the material.
It's just a money-making scheme. You literally just call it what it is, and it's a money-making scheme for people that live in London, just buying things.
Yeah. There's no confusion. Mr. Waffles just wanted to know if the club had given an answer, and Natasha has found it. Thunder says it's Carnival in Notting Hill been held this weekend. I've got no idea. Stan says also a big win, West Indian win. If we could say win.
No, West Indian community. Yeah. So West Indian community in North London. Sure, as I said, Stan, I totally appreciate it and everything like that. I'm just saying what's prevalent in the Arsenal squad right now might be more fitting. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see a Brazilian one.
Who knows? But, I'm up for that.
That would be quite 100%. Nice, actually, because Brazil's kit is blue and yellow. Historically, Arsenal's away kit is blue and yellow, so maybe they'll bring out a Brazilian blue and yellow kit. Oh, that would
look up for that.
They wouldn't get great. These are just training tops, aren't they? We need to
push the idea of the Brazilian theme that's going through the Arsenal right now. We need to really get a hold of that and just go, right, let's do this. I personally feel like that's more prevalent with what's going on with our history right now. That's all.
Yeah, current. Mike Hertz is there. Hello. So I'm just looking to see if there's any other comments here. Matthew D. Hello, Matthew. I think that's new. Enjoyed the way the supporters responded to the Gabriel error, similar to Saliba own goal. Get behind the lads when they're down. A few years ago, that player would have been booed off the pitch and would have to be been substituted the way that they were. But it's partly the new breed of Arsenal fans, and it's partly the atmosphere and everyone coming together. It's fantastic to see.
Danny, do you know what I think it really is?
Go on in.
I think it's a PR masterpiece that we released the All or Nothing Arsenal documentary on Amazon Prime.
They all thought it was going to be a nightmare, didn't they?
We did. We all know where it's going to go. We all know how it ends. But the journey, we're all there for the journey, not the ending. We're all there for the journey. We saw deep down in the changing rooms what the games meant to the players after said, whether it was a win or a loss or a draw. We saw what it meant to those players. So we have come into this season with that in mind, which is directly influencing the fans in the stands. That's for sure. That's for sure. If there's no connection, I would be completely flabbergasted. But there is 100% a difference when it comes to the Arsenal fans reacting to situations, and especially negative ones, in the stadium when it comes to watching that documentary, and really exactly the 12th man. The documentary has really shown what it means to players, especially just players like Ramsdale, when he gets pissed about not getting that clean sheet. I just want to fucking go for a beer with the guy. He just seems so cool, you know? And it's not every day you get to say that about a player as well. You know, a lot of players, they like to live in their own world and they live in the dream world. But players like Ramsdale and the players that we're seeing now that are coming through the Arsenal ranks and leading the line with Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus, they seem very humble and they seem very much wanting to do it as a family. And the team is a family. And I'm well behind that idea.
Right, a couple of messages here in the chat from Avon Not Teddington. Odegaard's 100% cross accuracy, 100% take-on success, 91 touches, 11 final third entries, 10 times possessions won, 8 duels won, 5 take-ons, 3 tackles, 3 shots, 2 chances, created 2 shots and goal, 1 on target. Brady says, waiting for the Irish culture jersey. No, because that'd be green. And I never want us to see a green, and my family are Irish, but no, fuck that. Never having a green top again. We had that.
That's my point. It's my Brady's banana has completely proved my point. Like, we've got a history of Irish heritage in the club.
Yeah.
A lot of Irish fans living in Ireland, for example, one of the biggest Arsenal podcasts, Arseblog. He's Irish, and he supported Arsenal because of the Irish heritage, including players like Brady. I'm just saying, but that's all I'm saying about the West Indie thing, and then so do an Irish one then.
It's good. I like it.
I've got Irish in me as well. I'm West Indie, English, and Irish, so do it all.
You can say what you want about any of the kits then.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Rudy's got a quote for us. Arteta on Gabriel. Quote, it's just the reaction of everybody after the goal to make them believe. It's not a coincidence because Gabby has changed his mentality every day. Excellent. The Arsenal Luchador Arriba says, still waiting for the Mexican heritage jersey to be released. I think we've got Marcelo Flores.
Proving my point.
He's exactly. At Real Oviedo, and we have.
I loved Carlos Vela, the chipping king. The chipping king. Yeah. The guy chipped more than chips in a bowl.
Good. Right. Steph's doing it again. Are you in my house, Steph? The next note. Well, it's the goal, isn't it? Let's do the 64th minute. 64th minute. Has it gone down as an own goal, or has it gone down as an Odegaard goal?
It's gone down as an Odegaard goal.
Thank God for that.
Because it was on target.
Yeah,
it was goal bound anyway. Regardless of whether the keeper was going to make the save, it's goal bound, so it's classed as Odegaard goal.
So 64th minute, goal by Odegaard, assist by Saka, pre-assist by Saliba. Saliba brings it up from defence, through the middle, gives it to Saka, who runs right, passes it left to... Getting tired reading this. Passes it left to Odegaard, who has a shot on the edge of the box, and it clips the defender as it goes past Leno's left. Leno nearly got a paw to it, but... yet again, just a beautiful build-up, great passing, left, right. Those Fulham defenders, they were run ragged. I knew this was going to get to the point. I thought by about the 75th minute, they will be breathing out of their arse. They are going to be knackered. And we saw signs of it here, and Leno nearly got a paw to it, but magnificent build-up, magnificent goal. Never stop.
Danny, you made a great point there with the pre-assist. That doesn't get talked about enough. If I'm honest with you, I think pre-assist is just sometimes, anyway, just as important as the actual assist. It really starts to. You really start to see how great. You know what? Right? You talk about strikers when they bury it in the back of the net, or when they don't bury it in the back of the net. Saliba, what have we got to say about him today? He was absolutely
brilliant.
He was brilliant. Absolute. We don't talk about him today because he did everything just like, I'm fine with it, mate. Don't worry about it. I've got it all all under lock and key. Don't worry about it. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. It scares me how good he is at 21 years old. Scares the shit out of me. Maestro, I love you, dude. Absolutely scares me. Absolutely terrifies me how good he is. And a lot of people give a lot of grief to Arteta with the fact that we signed him in 2019. We didn't use him. Who knows? Maybe we got it right.
Carly says, I thought you were a Viking. I am. I've got everything. I found out I'm mostly English, Irish, and German, though. Asked my dad about that. He didn't want to talk about it. Another quote from Rudy, because we thought my dad's dad was Italian. Turns out he was German when the Germans occupied Guernsey. First, we don't talk about that. I won't be goose stepping around the house.
Rudy says, love it.
It's a true story, actually. He's German. My nan, she liked the boys. Mikel Arteta on Nketiah. It's not as simple as that, just bringing on a striker. It's what we've practiced and the variety of formations we can use, how we can make each other better, attack from different spaces. Then you look in his eyes and you say, he's ready for a fight. That was one of the notes, actually, that I skipped over. 60th minute, Eddie on for Katie. We go to a back three, two up front. We're in a 3-5-2 with Xhaka covering at left back. And then later on, we saw Tomiyasu coming on and playing at left back. And then we had 5 centre defenders across the back. And then the 67th minute, Saka has gone left wing, Xhaka back in the middle, Martinelli at left wing. Those Fulham players must have been looking and going, how are we meant to cover Martinelli? Saka, Xhaka is moving around. Odegaard is attacking, defending in midfield, pulling everything everywhere. And meanwhile, you've got Gabriel, you've got Ben White, and you've got Saliba standing at the back of their arms crossed going, you're not coming in. You can try. You're going nowhere. You're having no luck. So where were we up to?
Overall, they didn't, Danny.
No, they had a few chances, but it didn't really work out. Great 66th minute, great corner from Fulham to their player right next to the penalty spot, who spanks it with his head right at goal, and Ramsdale parries it away. Great instinctive block from Ramsdale. We had a little moan at the beginning about him throwing the ball at their player, but he saved at least 2 goals today, didn't he? What a goalkeeper. Young, he's 23 years old and he's doing stuff like that already.
That save from... Hold on, I need to talk about this because I was blown away whilst I was watching it in the pub. Gabriel Jesus marking Mitrovic from corners. What the fuck was that all about? Literally, what the fuck was that all about? And Mitrovic just literally manhandled Gabriel Jesus and just headed the ball. And apparently Ramsdale has got reflexes like a kitten because the save was absolutely phenomenal, which kept us in the game. Blown away. Ramsdale, as I said to you at the start of the pod, you know, when we signed him from Sheffield United, we were all perplexed. We were like, why are we signing a guy like this? This is crazy. And, you know, the Leicester game, we all saw that save from the free kick from, was it Maddison? Pretty sure it was Maddison last season. And, you know, Ramsdale is very much now a staple name when it comes to the Arsenal. And rightly so.
Agreed completely. Is Soccer 7 Stud one of yours? Was that
No.
a new name? It's a new
name.
New one on Twitch. Hello to you. I was impressed when Ramsdale runs out and protects Tomiyasu near the end of the game. Props to him. Team spirit, team unity. They all fight as one. Steph made a good point. Mitrovic dominated all of his duels today. But I mean,
wouldn't expect anything less.
Beast. Yeah, he's had. You don't play 3 seasons in the Championship and not know how to defend yourself as a striker.
Yep.
Corey says White made a great block on the second attempt. Certainly did. Maestro Chan, I'm not one of Deek's. He's one of mine.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Brilliant.
Fair enough. Where are we up to now? 72nd minute. Martinelli and Saka on the wings, running and doing great stuff. And Martinelli has a shot which Leno dives to make an easy save. 75th minute. Fulham are tiring. Martinelli sets Eddie away on the right wing. Eddie cuts in and has a go but misses. And then I've just put magical Odegaard. No minutes, nothing else. Just magical. Just saying. Just saying.
He does. His flicks and tricks are...
He's a Norwegian wizard.
I love it. I'm in love with the man. I'm in love with the man.
80th minute. Saka and Martinelli have swapped wings yet again. We are only attacking down the right from now on, it seems. 81st minute. Gabriel centre back attacking. Great through ball to Martinelli on the left of the box. And gives it to Eddie. Eddie fluffs another chance and Leno gets it. Great through ball from you don't expect to see your centre back up doing through balls in the 81st minute. But you can moan about Eddie, or you can say, Eddie, he's showing what he can do. He's getting in the positions. He's only 23, I think he is, 22, something like that. And he is getting in great positions and making chances. And it's only going to be a little while before it starts to click for Eddie. When he's coming on, he'll get goals. You look like you were looking for something then. What you found?
He's 23. Sorry, I was just checking. I was checking the age because my brain was telling me maybe a bit older. But no, he's 23.
He had so many good chances today, and I'd rather Eddie get in the positions and have good chances than play for the last 20 minutes and do nothing. Do you agree?
Do you know what, right? At the end of the last season, when he did what he did and he nearly got us to the end of the line and got us that Champions League football, which, it ended up not being the way that we wanted it to be. But it was a great progression step for Arsenal from 8th. That's for sure. Eddie, since he's come on, since taking over from maybe Gabriel Jesus or maybe even working in tandem with him, he's definitely shown that he's got the ability to maybe get on the end of the ball. So I've got no qualms with him doing what he's doing. That's for sure.
It's going to come this team. He's going to get more. He's going to get goals.
100%. I've got no worries with him. I've got no stresses. It's been a minute since, as an Arsenal fan, that I've been not worried or annoyed by the fact that we've got players on said bench. Bringing on someone like Eddie Nketiah, if this was a year ago, even before what he did at the end of the season, I'd be like, what the bloody hell are we doing? And now I'm like, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. Good.
Let's go and get the dub.
He's going to get better. That's the kind of player that he is. Someone put something in the chat. Here we go. Corey Lane. Gabby's only good corner of the game, and we scored. We're going to come to that in a little bit. Dejan is there. Oi, cheeky. I think we're ready for top. Well, I think we are not ready for Champions League. At the end of the season, we will be. You see how much these players are growing almost week by week. And then by the end of the season, we will be definitely ready for the Champions League. Well, hopefully, because we're going to be in it one way or the other. Where are we down to? Here we go. Everyone, take a deep breath. Hold on to your respective reproduction organs. 82nd minute, a Hollywood ball from Odegaard over all of their players into a 1-inch square patch of where Eddie was standing. Eddie in the box, who brings it down. I think he brings it down with his left foot, and then he took too long. And then they got the block in. So many wasted chances from Eddie. But that ball from Odegaard, I mean, you don't expect someone to lift the ball over your entire defence and just drop it down onto the feet of your striker. I think it was... he wasn't expecting it. You wouldn't expect that. Maybe he was expecting something else. But Eddie had another chance. But these chances, he'll end up putting them away. We've seen that at the end of last season. Needs a few games,
have seen that.
A few more chances, and he'll start putting it away. Who we got? Oh, got another name here. Malcolm MK. Happy to have Saliba back, but it was Arteta's mismanagement that we didn't have him earlier. That's a whole podcast on its own here. I think we'll leave that, Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Where are we down to? 83rd minute. Martinelli has a shot from the edge of the box. Leno got a hand to it, or a defender deflected it for a corner. 83rd minute. Martinelli with another poor corner. Leno came up like a salmon to get it. 85th minute. Another corner into the box. This is the goal. A kerfuffle. It hits the back of Saliba. Drops down to the feet of Gabriel. Gets it in from 2 feet away. Great corner from Martinelli. Putting it in the mixer. I think that's what that's called, isn't it?
Good line. I like that. Putting it in the mixer. That's exactly right. There was calls of obviously VAR at the when the goal was put into the back of the net, and there was calls of maybe of a handball, which was absolutely horseshit. It infuriates me, the VAR system, and the fact that you can't really celebrate a goal, especially in those moments where it's like a dying moment of a game and you've ended up scoring a winner, which you truly deserve. But I'm very happy that it was Gabriel that scored it, as much as he's not in my fantasy football team. I was very much happy that he scored it because it ends up rectifying him for the error that he made earlier in the game. I think that's exactly what should be happening in a dream world. That's exactly what should be happening.
I've got Saka, Odegaard, and Jesus in my dream team. I've also got Mikel Antonio. and Watkins, Ward-Prowse, and Martinez in goal. So I thought I'd change some of those. Anyway, we're not here to talk about fantasy football.
I didn't even know you got a fantasy football thing. Have you got a fantasy football thing? You've got to send me the link.
For about the 8th, there's about 3,000 people in it, I think, if they've all renewed their thing.
Well, you got to send me the link because I'm not part of it. I'm not part of it at all. I've got a Martinelli over Saka, but apart from that, I'm Gabriel, Jesus, Odegaard, and Martinelli.
I keep thinking I'm not taking Saka out. I'm keeping the faith, but Martinelli.
I took him out. I put Martinelli in instead because he's cheaper. Saka's like 8 mil. Martinelli was like 6 mil. So I was like, fucking doing that shit.
Another new name, Darren Clifford. The training top is due to Notting Hill Carnival, so I've been told. Yeah, we've got that. We've gone over that. And Corey says villain to hero. Corey, the other Corey says Mike Dean on VAR for us.
Was it Mike Dean?
I've got no idea.
A bit of it.
So then that was the goal. 88th minute. Tommy on for Jesus. Brilliant. Also, no, it's Tommy. Jesus isn't getting any grief from the fans, even though he's brought in to score goals and he hasn't scored that many goals. It's almost like our fans have realised there's more to football than just a player scoring goals. It's all the other stuff that he does when he's on the pitch, dropping deep, going wide, just creating havoc. He's part of the Arsenal pizza. Without him, the pizza wouldn't taste right.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly right. But as I said, I think if the Arsenal documentary didn't get released when it did, I think there would be slightly different results. I think it's a PR masterclass. I really do.
It's worked out wonders. Here we go. Everybody, squeaky bum time. 89th minute. Fulham nearly score from their free kick. Ramsdale with another great instinctive save from as their player got between Gabriel and Saliba, got a toe to it, and at the last second, Ramsdale saw it. Another great. That's 3 great saves of the day. 93rd minute. My last note. Big bob on for Odegaard. We now have 5 centre backs in defence. So you've been able to bring players off of the bench. So your overall thoughts of the game. How happy are you? Criticisms, if you could summarise it in a few sentences.
Sure. Criticisms is going to be we should have put the game away early doors. It shouldn't have gone to the wire like it did. And we shouldn't have had to see the beginning of bringing on Rob Holding to secure the game against Fulham at home. It's a shame that we had to see it then. I thought we would have maybe seen it later because there's been lots of talk about how that we hadn't needed it up until now. But overall, we managed to get the result, and I'm very happy, as I said, that the guy that conceded the goal and the guy that scored the winner ended up being the same person in Gabriel. And as said by somebody, by Corey with an E, from villain to hero is very well said.
Brilliant summary. Because we don't use Streamlabs or whatever it is, it's been so long. We use StreamYard. I don't get a notification when you give us a Prime. So Soccer Stud has subscribed with their Amazon Prime subscription.
Hey!
You get 1 to give away every month. And if you don't use it, it goes to waste. That's about £1.50 out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. So if anybody wants to do that, you let me know. Even if you want to give it to other people who do this for a living, but it's easy. All you have to do is go and set up a Twitch account and then go and just click on. Don't do it on your mobile phone though.
We've got 6 viewers on. We've got 6 viewers on Twitch right now. If you've got an Amazon Prime and you haven't used it yet, get involved. 100%. You know how that works. 100%.
It is.
And Maestro's on Twitch. That's for sure.
Yes, he is. You've got Maestro in there. You've got Soccer 7 Stud, and I can't remember how you find out how many people are the people that are watching. No, that
6 people right now watching. So
yeah, jolly good. Right, so that's all of my notes, people. I think so far we've only got 1 question, and that was I've scrolled all the way up now. Oh, we got the porn bot there. Hello, if anybody is after
hello, porn bot. What's going? I was like, what the fuck is that shit? Mr. Waffles, what's a Twitch? Twitching, the terminology of looking through someone's blinds and watching somebody, you're twitching. That's what that is. That's that term. So it's kind of like that. So you're watching through some blinds and you're watching through somebody into somebody what they're doing. So that's kind of what Twitch is. It's a live streaming platform. Check it out. If you don't know, it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, the porn bot is here. So I've never seen a porn bot.
Oh, we love them. Hello,
seen it?
Pornbot people. It's a shame it's automated, or we would give them a little shout.
Let's have a chat. We'll have a chat. What's going on? We'll talk about the Arsenal.
Yes, they're all they're here because of John, because John's a deviant, and they know John's here, and they've probably subscribed to all their things. One question we have is from Pete Coulson. He says, "Would you be happy if we don't sign any more players in the transfer window closes? Partey replacement backup seems an essential one to me." What's your thoughts on that,
Danny? What would you rather sign? Would you rather sign another midfielder who can maybe fill the 6 and 8? Or someone that can do the winger striker?
We've got plenty of wingers. It has to be the 6-8 job, because at the moment,
really
isn't good enough. Yeah, we have got like ESR either wing.
What happens if Fabio Vieira becomes like the best?
He's skinny little legs.
He's a decent little player. 17 assists last season. I know
17.
I'm pretty sure it was 17. I know the stats say it was like 14, but in all comps it was like 16, 17 in all comps.
Wow, I've not looked.
But who knows? Who knows what happened? Who knows what happened? But yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. If it was an option between either a mid or a winger, I would rather a mid, as much as Arsenal are very much looking like they're going to be pushing for a striker /winger. Who knows?
Well,
who knows?
Now we've cleared.
I'd love both, of course. They're not mutually exclusive. Give me both.
But now that we've cleared up 140 grand's worth of wages, getting, I think Nice said they're going to pay the majority of his wages, so they're paying.
They are. They very much are. Yeah,
about 100 grand worth. So that frees up some money to go and sign someone. Mr. Waffle says Partey replacement. We have enough attacking players. Oh, Corey. Probably freezing his ass off somewhere in Canada. Should I use a short corner routine, or do I go far post?
Are we talking Football Manager, or are we talking in real life terms, or in Arsenal terms? Because if we're talking Football Manager, we always want to do the near post flick on with a target man, because target men are really, really good in FM22. If it's not, then I don't know what you're talking about. We should be playing the ball in there for our most prevalent people that are going to be burying it to the back of the net.
We do indeed. Don One says, I want a Partey replacement. I like the Egyptian Perlo, but we need better. Very true.
I agree.
Mr. Waffles, or let Sambi off the leash to find his feet. I think there is a tidy player in there somewhere. He's too quiet for me.
No, I'm really indifferent with him. Ellis-Mel! Holy Christ! Ellis-Mel! Ellis-Mel! Do you know what? I was going to give a shout out to Ellis-Mel. Ellis-Mel, we knew each other back in the day when I was running Arsenal in My Blood podcast. So Ellis-Mel, I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's cool in your life. Just giving you love and all that. What's going on?
He did a pod the other week, his first one in nearly a year, and he was glorious.
Face. Is that look at his little mug? Is that his little mug?
He's a dad. He had a baby.
Congratulations, sunshine. Those days, and then some sunshine. Good times. Yes. Arsenal, My Blood. Good times, man. It's good to see that you're roaming about still, man. Good stuff.
He is. He rang me the other night when they're walking through the middle of nowhere about 2 a.m. Him and his lovely missus, and spoke to him for about half an hour. And that was nice.
I had a lot of time for Ellis. A lot of time for him. He's a good guy.
Andy, another name I've not seen before. Andy R62000 says 6,200 numbers. So complicated because there's only 9 of them. It says, do you think Partey will be back before United? I have no idea. I think it only happened yesterday, so it's a bit early to tell.
You know what's annoying, Danny? Do you know what's annoying? We don't even know if it's an injury. It could be something more other things that's going on in his life. So it could be Jack Wilshere's got a leg injury, but he's too busy in rehab for cocaine addiction. Who knows? Hey, football. But anyway, Corey said I lost my FM virginity last year. Welcome to the abyss. That's for sure. But Ellis, it's great. It's great to see you. I talk about you with Danny all the time, about how the fact that we used to just chat about Arsenal when it comes to Arsenal My Blood podcast, which I used to run back in the day. So it's great to see you in the chat. That's for sure. 100%.
It is indeed. Right. I think that is the end of the show. Oh, Deacon, you just followed us on Twitch 59 minutes ago. I just don't look at the. I have to look at the web-based version of it. So yeah, we've got 292 followers now. I don't know how many of those are spam bots.
Get it in. Probably.
Yes.
Who knows? But there's 6 viewers right now. Dan and Maestro just put, sorry, I wasted my prime on Deek. That's never a good thing. Never waste it on me. Never waste it on me.
But we don't need the money. Well, I say that. We what's he saying? Shush you. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Fucking thing's been annoying me all day. Little buzzy fruit fly. See a bromance brooming.
I love Ellis. Absolutely. And congratulations, by the way, man, on the little one. That's beautiful stuff.
And Mrs. Ellis is lovely. He's a very lucky
Fantastic.
man. And the other 2 girls they've got with them, they're lovely girls as well. He's a very lucky man, is our Ellis. Right. We need to wrap the show up there. If people want to find you, where can they find you? It used to be 7:00 every weekday, didn't it? And that's not happening.
Yeah,
recently.
so I used to do, I did, but I had to take a step back because I'm actually working on myself at the moment. I'm going to the gym twice a week, and I'm actually working on myself to try and get my physical, my mental health. I'm getting there, but my physical health, I'm actually putting that in front and center, in front of everything. But I was doing FM and mental health streams, which was me playing an FM stream, playing some Football Manager, and talking about if you've got anything going on that's going on in your life and everything like that, if it's negative. I've gone through a lot in my 35 years on this planet, everything from homelessness to abuse and everything in between. So if you want to talk about anything, please DM me on Twitter. There's no problems there. My Twitter was right here, but I think Danny's just taking it off the screen. There we go. It is back. So you can follow me on Twitter there. Please DM me if you're going through some shit. I'm more than happy to talk to you and maybe help you out, give you a nugget of advice. But I've taken a break from that, as I said, because I'm working on myself physically. The moment I get that under wraps, then I'll come back into it, probably looking in sort of end of October, so November time, when I'm going to be going back to that, which I really love to do. So I'm going to be doing that again, that's for sure. But you can, as I said, you can follow me there. But I'm all about the mental health.
And tell me a little bit about the walk talk thing that you're involved in.
Yeah. So okay, cool. So I do a lot of work with a charity called Walk and Talk, which is a men's mental health charity. I feel like men have been forgotten about in today's day and age. You know, men under the age of 50 years old, the biggest killer for them is suicide, and I want to be a big preventer towards that. So Walk and Talk is opposing fans walking from one stadium to another. So we've done walks from, you know, Southampton to Reading and stuff like this, you know, some really big walks, or some smaller walks from like Palace to Arsenal, and getting opposing fans. But the idea is to get men to talk and open up about ideas that are going through their minds at that time. And hopefully we can save a man or two before they feel like they've got nothing left in the tank to give. And and we've done a lot of work. So you can follow them on at Walk and Talk MMH, Men's Mental Health, on Twitter as well. The man Lee runs it and created it. He's a lovely guy that doesn't take any credit for everything he does. He's a lovely gentleman. And I just want to try and save as many men out there as possible, because I feel like we've been forgotten about. That's for sure. And Danny knows I push it all the time. So there we go.
It is indeed. Very good stuff. And we've done a few pods about it, because our John has had similar issues, and he's now luckily over it. My cats are wanting food. A couple of little things I want to bring up. I have a few pictures from the game. There's the 2 captains, the captain and vice captain, one captain on the pitch, the other one captain in the dressing room, but together they make a beautiful partnership. Little picture there of Odegaard celebrating 3 goals this season. Yeah, not bad for a Real Madrid reject.
I want double digits from the man. I think you can do it as well.
Definitely. Most wins from the first 100 matches as an Arsenal manager. Arsene Wenger got 54. Arteta,
just one
53.
game behind Wenger.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
George Graham, 49. Tom Whittaker, 49. George Allison, 45. And the legendary Herbert Chapman, also 45. A little picture here of Zinchenko celebrating with Gabriel. Another little thing here. That's the same Odegaard celebrating.
That's fine. I can see double pictures. It's fine.
This one, I'm not sure it's from today's game or not. Just Gabriel as Jesus.
But I'm fine with seeing the tequila man. I'm fine with seeing. When are we? Apparently, there's a tequila called Arsenal Tequila. I don't know. Well, the PR company needs to get involved.
If they're listening, let us know, and we'll. Actually, I don't do anything with alcohol. There's our Captain Marvel, and finally, what better way to end the show? Top top of the league. So we are top of the league.
Beautiful stuff. And look at that. I tell you what, right? You know, as much as the points are pretty impressive, look at our goal difference compared to City.
Yeah.
We're matching them. We're matching them. And how much money they plugged into that football club? And we're matching them on goal difference. It's good to see as well, Brighton, you know, they've been playing some great football recently and everything like that. It's going to be very interesting to see us in the, is it the EFL Cup or the FA Cup? I can't even remember what we're playing.
League Cup.
League Cup.
We're
okay,
at
cool.
home.
So it's going to be interesting to see the Brighton game, that's for sure. Let's hope and pray that we can keep hold of Gross, because he's been on fire so far this season. So we'll see what happens anyway. But Phil Macker, thanks for the love, man. I really, really appreciate that.
And McAllister is another great one. Great plug. Mental health is important, and physical health. People who don't know, Ellis is one of the top people in the NHS. Without him, he has saved many lives and also pulled many things from many gentlemen's bottoms. But that part he doesn't tell us about.
That's the NSFW.
Yeah, that's
podcast.
It is indeed. Right, that's it. We're all done. Go to at DEACONJUSTIFIED on Twitter, and then you will find Deek and all of his details about his Twitch, and he'll start doing it soon. And I have it on in the background. I've got 2 monitors. I have Deek on one monitor while he's playing games, and I do my other stuff on the other monitor, and I join in, and it's a very happy place to be. And he'll 100%. Stop the game. If there's someone there talking about stuff, men's mental health and things like that, he'll stop the game and he'll just talk for 10 minutes about to this person and
take 1,000 tangents. Yeah, as you've seen already, and if you've not already seen, I take about 1,000 tangents. So I'm always happy to talk.
You do indeed, and he hasn't mentioned it today, but he's got a very interesting story about something that is life-changing for people. That is, every time I hear about it or read about it, I think, I can't believe a mate of mine was involved in that. And that is a podcast on its own. That is an amazing situation.
There's going to be a video released, not on my platform, but on another platform. So the moment I get hold of that, I will share and send that to yourself. But it involves a near-death experience. But we all know about it. It happened a couple of years ago. But as I said, I'll share the video when it comes to fruition.
Good. Right. Deep, you've been effervescent, you've been wonderful, and you've been interesting, to say the least.
That's all the words I like to hear. That's all the buzzwords, baby. That's what I like to hear. No, it's been great. I was like 85th minute. I was like, oh God, I'm gonna have to talk about Arsenal for an hour. This is awful. And then Gabriel comes and villain to hero, as Corey said, and he does the business. So here we are talking about another Arsenal win, and that's 4 wins on the bounce. Let's go and win the league.
That's it. It's back on, people. It's back on. We will see you on tomorrow. I will be doing Same Old Arsenal with Craig, Amanda, and Chris at 7 p.m. I'm not sure if that's going to be live or not, or maybe 7:30. And then 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we have a treat for you. We have, what was his Twitter name? You may well know him from Twitter as, I should know his bloody Twitter name, shouldn't I? Oh, for fuck's sake. Where's it gone? No, I can't remember his Twitter name.
It's live. It's live.
I know it's live. I know it is. It's Glenn. Glenn from New York. I don't think you've probably seen him. He has his own YouTube channel, and he is hilarious. And he yabba. He can never get a word in with him because he used to be a radio person, and now it's going to be me and him doing the Sunday roast at 10 p.m. He's worse than you. I can get a word. He's worse than you. I tell you what,
I've really dumbed down my tangents. I've worked hard on not rambling for an hour. I've worked real hard, Danny.
But Glenn from New York used to be a radio personality in New York. How did talk shows, and he's going to be on with me tomorrow night. He's one of my favourite people to do a show with. Mike is away, and maybe he might get you on for one of the Sunday roasts where we talk about absolutely anything for an hour and a half. So there is no rules.
Talk about everything and everything. Don't worry about that.
But tomorrow night, 10 p.m. we'll be doing that, and then I think Chris is doing a podcast probably Monday or Tuesday. And then I'm going to do the Lone Watch on Tuesday if Chris does a podcast Monday. And Wednesday we'll be back for the preview show for the Aston Villa game. Busy time. And then halfway through next month, we have 2 weeks off. So that'd be nice. So yeah, if you're new, give it a subscribe. If you're not, I don't know, do something else. And we will see you later. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Be nice to each other. And be nice to cats and dogs. And eat more fruit. Wise words indeed.
These are all...
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's the outro video. Bye-bye. Be lucky.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at it. So when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.